Hello, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Rhino, and we are here with another episode in our NFL post draft analysis. This episode, we're going to be doing the AFC West. So, we're going to start with the arms race that's going to go on between the Broncos and the Chiefs. We're going to start with the Broncos. So, Broncos drafted Bradley Roby, a cornerback, Cody Latimer, a wide receiver, and Michael Schofield, an offensive lineman. So, Roby helps their secondary even though they already have Chris Harris as a starter. They added TJ Ward as a safety and Aqib Talib in the offseason from the Patriots. So their secondary is pretty stacked. Roby's not going to start, but he's going to definitely learn and get some experience. He's going to play a couple plays here and there in every game, most likely, but he's definitely going to learn from Chris Harris and Aqib Talib just by watching them play. Latimer helps their wide receiver position. They had great wide receiving core last year, but Eric Decker left for the Jets, so Latimer's going to come in. He could be a potential starter, replace that hole, go alongside Demaryius Thomas, and help draw some attention over there. Or if all the attention's on Thomas, he'll be able to, you know, kind of sneak in and get some plays in there for himself. Now Michael Schofield bolsters their offensive line, helps protect Manning because we know with his neck injury and stuff, he cannot get hurt. He goes down, they're out of business pretty much. Now, their running back, they didn't draft a running back. They have Monte Ball in the backfield as their starter because Noshan Moreno left for the Dolphins in this offseason. So I was kind of surprised they didn't draft a running back just as a little backup for Monte Ball. I believe they have one other guy. I can't think of his name right now, though, so forgive me for that. But they should be all right with Monte Ball. He's a pretty good back on his own. Now to the Chiefs. Chiefs drafted D Ford, defensive end out of Auburn. Philip Gaines as a quarterback. DeAnthony Thomas, a running back out of Oregon. And Aaron Murray as a quarterback out of Georgia. So, that was a little surprising to me, but we'll get to that in a second. D Ford helps their pass rush because last season they had a very good pass rush to begin with. But a couple of their pass rushers got hurt, and their pass rush virtually disappeared. D Ford can come in and help replace injured people, or just as in every other, like a third down guy, rush the quarterback kind of thing. He'll definitely help the pass rush out, so that's good for the Chiefs. Philip Gaines definitely helps the secondary. They already have a good cornerback in Brandon Flowers, but now he can come in and either be a backup to Flowers or play alongside Flowers on the other side, doing back and forth with that. They'll be good there. DeAnthony Thomas, very, very fast guy. He comes in, helps the already extremely fast Jamal Charles. So, this is another offensive weapon for the Chiefs there. Jamal Charles is good out of the backfield. He can catch passes. He can run, do all this stuff. DeAnthony Thomas is basically the same thing. He's going to be great for the Chiefs. They got a 1-2 punch with Charles and Thomas in the backfield now. Now, Aaron Murray, that choice surprised me. Because Alex Smith is doing really good for the Chiefs. I believe, correct me if in the comments if I'm wrong, he's in the last year of his contract this year. So, Murray is either one of two things. He's either a replacement for Smith, and depending on how Smith does this season is going to affect what type of contract, if any, he gets for the next season, and Murray is going to be the replacement for him, or Murray's going to be motivation for Smith to do better in the regular season, even though he's pretty good in the regular season already, and he's going to do better in the postseason because, as we all know, Chiefs played the Colts. Colts had that massive comeback and beat the Chiefs in the first round, so that can't happen again for Andy Reid's team there. So Murray is either going to be motivation so that Smith does better and knows he can't mess up now because they got a replacement for him. But one thing that did surprise me is they didn't draft a running back. I'm not sure who they added in the offseason. I wasn't really following the Chiefs that much, but they didn't add a wide receiver to help out Dwayne Bowe on the offense. Smith has a couple of guys to throw to, Dwayne Bowe being one of them. He's their big guy, 6'2", 6'3", something like that, and Jamal Charles out of the backfield. They didn't add someone else to help out, take some pressure off of, so they don't double team Bowe as much, and they can, they don't have to worry about covering. They can't cover Bowe, Charles, and a third guy all at the same time. But, they did okay without it last year. they should do okay again without it this year, but we'll see what happens with that. Now to the Chargers. Chargers drafted cornerback Jason Verrett, Jeremiah Atochu, a linebacker, and Chris Watt, a guard. So all those guys fill holes that the Chargers had. They all could be potential starters this year. All really good picks. Rivers needed more protection last year, as you could tell, so Chris Watt is definitely going to help out with that. Jeremiah and Jason Verrett definitely going to help out the defense. They need another quarterback and another linebacker to help stop the run. That's definitely what Tochu can do. They didn't really need to use their high picks on offensive weapons, which they didn't. They were pretty solid last year with Antonio Gates and Keenan Allen, so they should be fine again this year. They just needed more defensive help and line help, which they got, so they should be all right. Now to the Raiders. The Raiders did a lot in the offseason. They added Matt Schaub from Houston for their quarterback. They got Maurice Jones-Drew from Jacksonville. They got Justin Tuck from the Giants. They got Lamar Woodley from the Steelers. They got a bunch of guys. All right, so the first round draft pick, they took Khalil Mack, a linebacker out of Buffalo. They took Derek Carr out of Fresno State, quarterback, and Gabe Jackson out of Mississippi for guard. So Khalil Mack is going to help an already strong linebacking core. They added Lamar Woodley, like I said. Mack can play alongside Woodley. Mack was great linebacker for Buffalo last year. Great linebacker. So that's going to be a great combination back there between him and Woodley. Now, Derek Carr is a good quarterback. They kind of surprised me a little bit because they took Matt Schaub from Houston and drafted Carr anyway. I understand why. It's kind of like it's more motivation for Matt Schaub. Because last year in Houston, they didn't really have anybody that could replace Schaub and come in and do a good job. So now what they got Schaub will probably be the starter. But if he does as bad as he did last year in Houston, they got Carr that can come right in. Schaub can hit the bench and be done. Carr can come in and do a good job, hopefully, for their backup. Other than that, they're going to let Schaub have 1 year to prove that he can still throw the ball. If he can't, they got Carr to replace him next year, and Schaub is going to be done. And then Gabe Jackson, good offensive line protection because, like we said last year in Houston, Matt Schaub had no time for anything. He needs more time in the pocket, more better protection, so they got Gabe Jackson to help out with that. And even if it still doesn't work out, he can protect Derek Carr as well. He'll protect anybody that's back there. So, Derek Carr, this was surprising to me, was the only offensive player that the Raiders took in the draft. Everyone else was on the defensive side of the ball. But, their wide receivers, they lost Jacoby Ford to the Jets. They still have Streeter. They have a couple other guys, I think. Running backs, they got McFadden still, and they still have Maurice Jones-Drew that they took from Jacksonville this past year, so they're good in that position. We'll see how their receiving core does, but they got to figure out who's going to throw them the ball first. So, predictions for the AFC West this year. I have the Broncos going 13-3 and winning the division. I have the Chiefs going 10-6, and they take the 5th seed in the AFC. And I know I said in the our AFC North breakdown that I said that Ravens were going 9-7 and they had the 5th seed. I meant to say 6th seed, and they're one of the couple teams that I have that can take the 6th seed, and we'll get to that in a second. But the Chiefs going 10-6, taking the 5th seed. I have the Chargers going 9-7. They're one of the 3 teams I have going for the 6th seed. The Chargers are 1, the Ravens are 2nd one, and we'll get to the 3rd one when we get to our another division. But that's for later. So the Chargers and Ravens are definitely 2 of my 3 6th seed potential. The Chiefs perform well, and the Raiders I have going 7-9. So they do a little bit better than they did last season. They don't quite hit 500, but with the additions that they make, they'll definitely do a little bit better. So the Broncos bolster their defense. Their offense is already explosive as all can be. So the offense is fine. They bolster their defense, helps them win a couple of games that are close. They go 13-3, win their division. Chiefs perform well. They get the 5th seed. They go farther into the playoffs than they did last year. They don't make it all the way to the Super Bowl, but definitely go farther than they did last year. I believe Alex Smith gets the contract he wants. He's there for at least another 2 years in Kansas City. Chargers do well. They contend a little bit for the division themselves before dropping off, but they potentially a 6th seed. I'm not sure who's going to take it yet. We'll have a video on that when we get closer to the start of the season, but they're a potential 6th seed in the AFC along with the Ravens and one other team which we'll get to later, but we'll see how that plays out. Oakland does better, like I said, with the new pieces that they have, but they still need time to get everything right. They have most of the pieces that they need, but they still need more time to get everything to fit together and work properly. But that'll happen in the coming seasons. So that's all I got for that was our AFC West breakdown. Let me know in the comments what you think your AFC West predictions are. If you think I'm right, if you think I'm wrong, what do you think the Ravens are going to do? Do you think the Broncos are going to win? Do you think the Chiefs are going to win? Leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. We're doing this daily. Stick around for tomorrow. We're going to come back with the AFC East breakdown. And I'll see you all in that episode.